New survey says 86% of people have never had a package stolen from their doorstep. Now, I know this is a big time of the year for package thieves. You see it on the news.
What percentage?
86% of people that responded to this poll said they had not had a package stolen.
Even though 100% of the news stations across the country will run a story about people getting packages stolen off of their...
They make it seem like it's an epidemic.
But not just an epidemic, that it's an everyday occurrence that's going to happen to you, because my wife freaks out because she watches too much news. Right. And she's like, well, we got to do something about the packages on our doorstep. I'm like, why have we ever? And listen, she knows her way around Amazon.com, okay? We get a lot of packages.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do nowadays.
Never.
Even if it's on Amazon.
Never, ever had a package stolen, mainly because we have a business across the street from our house, and they actually do a pretty good job of looking out for our house, and they know us, and they know other people.
Plus, you got the camera, right? You got the ring?
Yeah, we got the ring.
You got the ring.
We got the ring, too.
So, the people walk up, they say, ooh, there's the camera.
Well,
even though it's funny because
how the ring markets it, how it works, but it doesn't always work that way. But that's cool.
This has done amazing business for these video surveillance companies that sell these packages. My stepdad bought a couple of these cameras, and you can talk on them now. Mm-hmm. So it goes to your phone. There's a ding. Does the ring work the exact same way? Right?
Yeah.
And you can talk to the person.
Somebody
that's
shows
there.
up, and I'm like, "Hey, what do you do on my doorstep? Get away from my doorstep."
Yeah, so he's got this. He can listen. He can talk. All this kind of stuff. And
my favorite thing is to when it goes off, I'll try to catch it right away, because my phone is an older Android phone, so there's a little bit of lag time. But if I can get on it and there's not a lot of apps running in the background and all that stuff, I can get on it right away. And I like to freak out the mailman. So the mailman come walking up, and it'll go off, and then he's sorting through the mail, putting the mail. And usually, if he has a lot of mail to put into our box,
he'll be there for a minute.
He'll be there for a second. And I'll start to whisper into the camera. And then he'll look around, and I'll stop. And I'll go, hey, 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 hey. And he'll look around, and then I'll stop.
And he hasn't figured it out? He's figured it out, though.
I don't think he must have, because he's got to deal with these rings all the time, and I can't be the only person that's doing it. Well, maybe I am the only person.
You're the only person that's child enough to do that. Even though if I had a ring, I would probably do the same thing. Now, I feel like we're pretty fortunate because we live down a long driveway, and our front door is kind of tucked away.
You're super protected. You have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, we don't have an issue. We have packages delivered all the time. My wife does anyways. But you've never had, that was my question, because you live on a busy street, because I know you have a lot of traffic that comes by. Have you ever had a package taken?
I've had dudes in my backyard that are homeless eating my oranges off my...
Taking showers with your hose, right?
Yeah, take a shower with my hose. And I've never had a package stolen. Not even he steals our packages.
Well, he doesn't want to screw up his shower.
Right, exactly. I don't want to miss...
Free showers.
I don't want to mess up this free orange and cleanliness gig.
543-3693. You can call or text in. That's the 805 Beer text in call-in line. 543-3693. If this has ever happened to you, have you gone about certain ways to try to prevent it? How have you prevented it from happening?
Or do you buy into the fear-mongering of the news? And do you feel like this is going to happen to you, in which your packages are going to get stolen? And have you gone the lengths of what basically I've done, and that is get some kind of surveillance, even though it's never happened?
Like the ring doorbell thing with the camera.
But I know we bring it up all the time, and they don't sponsor the show. I don't know why they don't. But Harbor Freight, amazing deals on surveillance.
Oh, they have surveillance over there?
Yes. Yes, they do.
I'll have to go check it out. I just want surveillance because I feel like I need it, even though I don't need it. But I want it because everybody else has it. I want to know what everybody's doing.
Nothing gives me the satisfaction of buying something at Harbor Freight and then going to Costco and seeing something similar to what I bought at Harbor Freight for way more of the price.
That good a deal.
It's a pretty good deal.
543-3693. Also, if you had a neighbor and you have one of these cameras and you recognize the person that took the package, maybe you don't know them, but you recognize the car from the neighborhood, you recognize something about the person, do you confront them?
Oh, yes. Wholeheartedly. What, you're just going to be like, I don't know, I stole my pack. But I guess you could call up Amazon and say, hey, I never got that thing. And they're like, oh, that's weird. You never got that thing? Okay, we'll send you out a new one. That's what they do. You know, they say, well, we showed that it was delivered. Maybe it was stolen off your... Well, okay, we'll go ahead and send you a new one. That's what they do. At least that's what I've heard that they do. I mean, I've had things returned for Amazon for a lot less. Like, like missing decals, and they're like, "Oh, we'll just send you a new one." I'm like, "Wait, just send me the stickers. I'll put the stickers on the one I have." They're like, "It doesn't work that way."
How do you prevent people from stealing your stuff, your packages when they're dropped off? Now, this one gal wrote in, and she says she likes to teach them a lesson. So she likes to take like a fancy coffee tin, and in half the tin, she'll fill it with cheap coffee powder or grounds, and the other half of the tin she'll fill with powdered latex, and then she'll shake it up in the tin really good so the coffee or the chocolate all mixes with the latex, the laxative latex. I didn't mean latex.
I was going to say, what was she doing? Like grinding up gloves?
No, the laxative. She fills half the can with a laxative.
Okay.
What am I talking about? Latex. She fills half the can with laxative and the other half with either grounds, like coffee grounds or powder. So when the people steal it and they take it home and they drink or, whatever it is, they'll get massive diarrhea. Another gal wrote in, totally separate. She says she likes to do a fancy box and take a brownie mix and add laxative or a chocolate mix or something like cake mix. And so when you have these mixes and they go home and they make the brownies, they end up having the squirts.
Okay, but here's the thing: it's like you already established that only 14% of people have ever had
according to this
a package stolen. And how many packages did that 14% get delivered successfully to them before one was stolen from them? Probably lots, I would imagine. And then if you're a thief, put yourself in the thief's mind. All right, you go and you steal a package and you find out it's brownie mix. Are you gonna be like, ooh?
I'm making some brownies tonight.
You're looking for like TVs and stuff of value.
Right.
Brownie mix, you'd be like, throw it out. You'd be like, okay, move on to the next package. David's on line one. And he says somebody was stealing his buddy's burritos at work.
What did he do?
He made some burritos with dog food.
like the canned dog food, like the soft stuff?
Yes.
Man, this guy makes really bad burritos.
Oh, my God.
I'm never stealing his food again.
Listen, David,
Exactly.
Jeff would make these burritos, and he'd wrap them all up in cellophane, and he'd put them in the freezer. And one day, I don't know if it was you or somebody else, I think another person started doing it as well. Instead of buying the burritos, in the package, he made them, fresh at home, freeze them, and bring them in. And I thought, man, I was so hungry, and I was like, man, I don't want to go down to the store. Maybe I'll just have one of these burritos.
You had one of my burritos?
No, I didn't. I honestly did not. And I'm glad I didn't, because it could have been full of dog food. Knowing Jeff, this is the kind of jackass moves he does.
I'm going to employ this, but
That's a great idea.
I'm going to do it with dry dog food, though.
Yeah.
Just to really send a message.
Oh.
Crunch. Oh.
Well, he did tell me that after that day, his burritos never got stolen again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, damn.
That's good. That's
This
good
guy
sabotage.
eats some really burritos.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, David. Appreciate it. 543-3693. Thanks for hanging on. Go ahead. We're talking about your Christmas packages being stolen, by the way. Even though the news makes us think this happens to everyone, 86% of people in a recent poll survey said that they had never had a package taken. Go ahead, man. Thanks for hanging on.
All these tricks and sneaky ways of trying to get around people stealing your packages. I've got a large property with a large gate, and USPS has refused to deliver inside my gate. So I told them if it doesn't fit in my mailbox, put a piece of paper in there letting me know you got my package. I'll pick it up from the post office. Problem solved.
All right. Well, I mean, a lot of people don't live on a big piece of property with a big gate like you do. They just live downtown.
That is absolutely true. But nonetheless, if you contact USPS, they will leave a piece of paper in your mailbox letting you know they have your package safely.
So if you're truly worried about it, then this is a route to go, I mean,
have it delivered to the warehouse and then go pick it up.
Or, you go and
I gotcha.
make that trip yourself.
Anyway, and that's true. But anyway, thanks for taking my call. I'm a long-time listener. Love you guys.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I wish I had a big gate and a lot of property, but I don't. I have a neighbor right up my ass on both sides. Two neighbors up my ass.
But the cool thing is, if you ever get a package stolen, you know it's one of those two.
Somebody knows something. Hey, thanks for hanging on. Go ahead, Paul.
Well, if you sabotage a package, that's going to backfire on you because they know where you live.
Right.
You see, that's true. And I was thinking, like, could you actually get in legal trouble? Could you be arrested? Could you be in trouble with the law for tampering with something, even though someone stole it and it wasn't theirs? But you know, the premeditation of, you know, trying to make somebody sick because, you know what I mean? And
yes, because the ultimate would be, you know, those money packs that blow up when they steal money from a bank?
Yeah.
Right.
If you put one of those in the package and they open it up and they blew up purple all over their face, that'd be fantastic. Except for they know where you live and they're going to retaliate.
That's a good point, Paul. Thank you.
Okay, have a good day.
You know, Jeff Stolberg's coming in a little bit later on. I was going to ask him about that. I mean, if you have something on that's your property and someone comes onto your property and they steal a piece of your property, you know, I don't care if it's a grenade. Like, you should be okay, but I have no idea. He would probably know.
God, I'm not going to steal anything from you. You're setting out grenades, dude. You want to kill people.
Hey, I'm ready to move to Idaho tomorrow. 543-3693. Got a couple people that want to weigh in on how to prevent this. Go ahead, man.
If you got a problem with someone stealing stuff, you should definitely think about getting a surveillance system. Costco sells them for like $200.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff saw
it's a
it.
tax write-off. You can any type of home security that you do.
Half the time it doesn't catch their face, and you might recognize them. You probably won't, and all it does is, you know, catch somebody on camera. It doesn't stop them from stealing your package because we see that stuff on the news.
But then if you figure out who it is, you can confront them. You know.
You know, it'd be
See them
nice
walking through your neighborhood or.
if a package thief were to hear this.
Thanks,
and then they wanted to call up all anonymous and they wanted to do a good deed for the holidays. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to steal your packages, but here's good ways to get me to not steal your packages. And call up and give us like a couple tips, like get some motion lights or something, because there's lots of packages out there. Like I gotta think in my heart of hearts that the person that comes by to steal your packages is only going to do so if the picking is easy. Like, you know, what are some of the deterrents that these package guys are going to be? Like, you know, is it?
I like that sign that says "We don't call the cops," and it's a picture of a gun.
That's what. That's my.
I love that.
My neighbor across.
I saw
the
that on Live PD.
I have a warehouse across the street. I was talking to. He's got two signs outside of his. What he does is he's a distributor of cheap goods that are made in another country, and he is like the largest one on the West Coast in his field. And he's got two signs out that says, warning, I support the Second Amendment.
Yes.
And it's got a big picture of a gun on it. And I go over to, his name's Jeremy too. I go, Jeremy, you know, you really got a gun? He's like, no, I don't carry a gun. I just want to put that out there so to scare people away. But it probably works, you know? It probably works.
Brad writes in, he says they kind of have a neighborhood watch. They really kind of watch everybody.
That's the best way to do it.
But, you know, having these cameras where you can talk to people, and have you seen the advertisement at night that people come up, the lights come on, the camera's on, and then the lady gets on her phone because she's not home. She's like, hey, we see you. You better get out of here. It's like, how often are you able to actually, when your phone goes off, see the notification and then yell at somebody and catch them while they're still there? Because it only takes a couple of seconds to walk up, grab something, and take off.
Yeah. Like the ones that sit there and look at the camera, like those should all be dumbass of the day.
Give us a good profile shot.
Yeah, like, oh, what's this thing right here? Oh my God, what's going on? What's this thing with the noise coming out of it? Oh, maybe just talk back to the person. Like, do you really think that happens the majority of the time? No, the person walks up there, sees it, and goes, oh crap, and runs away, and you don't get a good look at them.
I forget who wrote it in, but I remember somebody said, you know, just don't have it delivered to your home. Have it delivered to your office, you know, where you're at during the day, and then you'll make sure that that it won't be stolen because somebody will accept that package. That's pretty common sense, isn't it? Unless you don't have an office because you're a truck driver or, you know, you're out on the road all the time.
Somebody just wrote in from Santa Maria, and he says he's already had 2 packages stolen this year.
Well, I guess he's not in that 86%, is he? Sorry, dude, that sucks. Well, you got to move, man. It's Santa Maria. No, but seriously, this can happen in any neighborhood, right? In any neighborhood, at any place, at any time. If it's all a crime of opportunity. And so, what is his? Does he have a solution? I guess not. I mean,
he's just basically texting to bitch about it.
Sorry.
I mean,
that sucks, man.
he's complained to the United States Postal Service because 2 of the packages have come like opened and people have gone through them, and they're like, well, there's nothing really we can do about it. So I guess, in that instance, you would have to get some kind of surveillance, or like I like the suggestion earlier. Make sure just hold it at the post office.
2 good suggestions. You could either have it sent to your office or an office where you work where somebody can sign for it, or you can just have them hold it at the warehouse, whether it be UPS, FedEx, or the United States Postal Service.
Make sure you get it cleared, though, with your company before you just get it started setting in your office, because I can imagine our receptionist not being too happy with getting a bunch of Christmas gifts.
Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm glad you just today's the day you came in, because we started talking about this. People getting their packages stolen from delivery drivers. Around the holidays.
No, not delivery drivers.
Oh, they're not stealing it, but after it gets delivered,
the packages are coming from delivery drivers getting stolen by somebody else.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Don't want to get a bunch of delivery drivers fired.
Yeah, after a package gets delivered and you're not home, people will come by, and we see it on the news like it's an epidemic. I mean, like it's happening everywhere. But a new survey says 86% of people have never had a package stolen. Have you ever had a package stolen from your home?
No.
From the porch?
No.
A lot of great ways to prevent this from happening. Somebody wrote in earlier and they said, hey, just have the package delivered to your office.
Or the post office, have them hold on to it.
Require a signature.
Go pick it up.
Or just having it
now, how do you set that up?
Warehouse.
I don't even know how the require a signature part is set up.
Is that maybe that's something that you do when you order it?
When you send it, for example, I send documents to people and I want to be able to verify that they got them, so I will say.
But most people use Amazon, and I don't know if there's a way that you can require a signature when you have a watch or a
maybe account settings.
Well, I'm certain
a
that
TV
there's
from
a
Amazon.
setup on there, because they're not going to leave, say, for example, a $20,000 watch on somebody's doorstep.
That's very true. Brad's on the line, and he has a few preventive ideas. What do you got for us, man?
It's all about the power of the mind. If you just had like a little thing in the front of your property, just said, we have a security alarm system installed, even if you don't, a lot of people would probably believe that you do. And secondly, the same thing with the signs. I have a gate that's automated, but on my gate I've got 2 signs. One says nothing inside is worth dying for, and it's got a picture of a little target with some bullet holes in it. And the other one on the other side says no soliciting. We've already found Jesus. We know who we're voting for. And seriously, unless you're giving away free beer, please go away.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Brad. A man that's very proud of his signs right there. Hey, buddy, thanks for hanging out. Go ahead.
No problem. Hey, I've had creative experiences like this before. I had a gas tank that kept getting stolen, so I went and got 2 of them and filled one with diesel and left it out there for them.
Nice. That's a great way to do it. See, that's a great way to handle it.
And then what I did recently is I got an old Amazon box. I built a 2x4 wooden box, put it inside the Amazon box, and screwed it to the porch.
Oh, see, I saw this on, I don't know, it was some show. And that's what they were doing. And they had people trying to grab it. That's pretty funny. Oh, thanks for the call, buddy. Appreciate it. So, and he kind of brings up a good point with the diesel and with this gal that says she likes to take cocoa or coffee that's ground up and mix in laxative with it and then leave it on the porch. And if someone steals it, they're going to get sick from that. I mean, is there any legal repercussions that could come back on you if you intentionally have premeditatedly, set something up to make somebody sick or hurt
sabotage.
them? Yes. Even though it's on your porch, it's your property, they have no right to it, but they take it. Can they come back and sue you?
Every case is fact specific. So going back to the guy who leaves a can on his doorstep that says gasoline and it's filled with diesel, no problem there.
Okay.
On the other hand, the woman who put some kind of, let's just call it a poison because it's not what somebody expects, in what is a food item, there's potential legal peril there. For example, in old days, there was a line of cases because back in the Midwest, especially in other places, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, people when they were leaving their homes, back before burglar alarms, would set a trap gun, which would be a shotgun pointed towards the door with a string that went basically to the doorknob. And if somebody opened the door or broke in through there, the shotgun would go off, and people would be seriously injured or killed. And there was a lot of litigation. There's a whole line of court cases about whether that's a proper defense of somebody's property. Well, it never would have happened to them if they hadn't have broken in. And in fact, the courts consistently came down the other way, saying that the danger to human life far outweighed it. And in one case, they said, well, it's foreseeable that the house could catch on fire and a fireman would show up, open the door,
and get shot for trying to
right, and that
those
would
people
happen. So it's really a question of duty and foreseeability, especially if you were doing it for the purpose of poisoning somebody. For example, poisoning somebody for taking an item is an overreaction. And just for the same reason that the police couldn't shoot somebody for stealing something off a porch. So, and there could be civil or criminal liability. For example, for that whatever laxative or whatever they mixed in with that food item might be okay for most people. What if the person who took it had diverticulitis or some sort of serious incident where that ended up making them very, very sick? On the one hand, you can look at it and say, well, from one step,
don't steal.
Say they don't steal, it wouldn't happen. But the intent of the person is, the intent of the person is to cause harm, it could create some potential criminal or civil liability.
Jeff Stolberg is here. StolbergLaw.com is his website. Okay, so that's good. So really, just be safe. Maybe go get a Ring or a security camera or something like that and approach that way.
I like the guy's sign you put in the grass right in front saying, smile, you're on camera. I mean, that's a huge deterrent.
You don't have to settle for a cup of joe to kickstart your day when you can shift into high gear right here. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.